The Toronto Raptors lose their final home game of the season. We are going to talk about it. What's going on, everybody? It's Luca here of the Raptors Nation YouTube channel. Hit a like and subscribe to the channel for more Raptors content. The Raptors, they played in their final home game, guys, and let's just hope the next time the Raptors are playing at home, which is going to be next season. Yeah, we're going to have to wait a whole ton for that. Let's just hope when that happens, the Raptors are going to be looking much better, because this has been truly a season that has had just about everything. And the Toronto Raptors winning at home has not been a thing this season. The Raptors, they lose at home in their final home game of the year, and they finish the season with a 14-27 record at home. And their home winning percentage and minus 6.1 point differential both ranked second worst in franchise history. That is per Josh Lewinberg. They went 9-32 with a minus 7.9 point differential during their 16-win 1997-98 season. So the last time the Raptors were close to being this bad at home, it was when they won only 16 games. That is crazy. And I mean, that's just kind of been the season, right? This is a Raptors team that has gone through major roster turnover, and we're going to get to that more in just a second here. I put out something on X highlighting that. But this has just been one of those seasons, right? The Raptors, guys in and out of the lineup, obviously missing key pieces. Scotty Barnes, it was great seeing him at practice, continuing to shoot. Jakob Poeltl doing some drills as well. We're not going to see those two players until next season. I mean, it hasn't officially been reported yet, but in all likelihood, I mean, we're not going to see Scotty or Jakob, nor does it make sense, and nor would that be smart at all for the Raptors. So the Raptors, they've just had to kind of rely on the guys who have been available. And Emmanuel Quickley, he did have the night off. The Raptors, they sent out Olynyk, Gary Trent Jr., RJ Barrett, Abaji, and Freeman Liberty as their starting five. And shout out to Freeman Liberty, man. He was balling, especially in that first half. New career high, 20 points, 8 rebounds. You look at Liberty, had a steal, 7 of 10 from the field, 2 of 3 from 3. And this might seem like a very meaningless part of the season for the Toronto Raptors, but it means a lot for players like Liberty who are trying to earn themselves a place on this team in this rotation next season. And you know, he's doing a good job of earning himself that possible opportunity. Strong showing here, going to still have 3 more games to close out the season. And you're going to look to guys like Liberty to Awara, who had 11 points from off the bench. Obviously, he was involved in that Indiana Pacers trade that sent Pascal Siakam to Indy. You're going to look for those guys to step up and show you something. And that's going to be these guys' opportunity to show Darko and the Raptors, look, you know, we want to have a place on this team next season. The Raptors actually made this a game. It looked at one point that the Raptors were going to play spoiler tonight, because coming into the game, the Raptors, if they beat Indiana, it would have made things interesting, because the 76ers are still 1 game back of the Pacers for that 6th spot. And the Raptors, by beating Indiana, would have helped their own cause in terms of their pick, because the Raptors do have the Indiana Pacers pick, and the Pacers, who could still fall into the play-in. I mean, a small chance it happens at this point, because this was a big win for the Pacers and ensuring they will get a top 6 spot. But let's just say the Pacers lose out and the Philadelphia 76ers win out, the Sixers would leap the Pacers. So that means the Pacers would be in the play-in. And if the Pacers in the play-in, there's a chance they miss the playoffs. And if the Pacers miss the playoffs outright, then that means that pick for the Raptors would be a lottery pick, which would be huge for this basketball team. But it's looking like the Pacers are going to be able to avoid the play-in altogether, which is what they wanted to obviously do and be in this position. And they knew this was going to be an important game for them. And they did not, early on, they took it lightly, but then they immediately made up for it, as the Raptors got off to a great start. First quarter, 35-24 run in the first, but then Indiana 40-29 quarter. And then the third quarter, Indiana blew this game, gave themselves a little bit of more breathing room, 41-27 in the third. And Pascal Siakam had a pretty quiet night. I mean, 16 points, 9 rebounds, at 6 of 10 shooting. It was Halliburton who was quiet the last time these two teams played. He was not quiet on this night. He had 30, and then Obi Toppin from off the bench had 23, and McConnell had 17. So those guys were huge for Indiana. And the Raptors, they just ran out of firepower in this one. Whenever you play Indiana, you know they're going to give up a lot of points, but you're going to have to keep up with their offense that scores a ton. And the Raptors were unable to do that, obviously missing some key offensive players. It was going to be tough with quickly out. But yeah, Olynyk had 22, RJ had 23, Freeman Liberty, like I said, had 20, Wara 16, and Bruce Brown had 16, Wara had 11, as those were the only Raptors players. Gary Trent Jr. was 16, the only Raptors players in double figures. Grady Dick also did not play, as he's out with a groin injury. Quite the injury for him. But yeah, the Raptors, they fall in this spot, and you look at this team now, guys, they got 3 games left, and like I said, it is still going to be a big 3 games for guys who are trying to impress this Raptors coaching staff. And, even take a guy like Williams, who's locked up until the end of the season on that 10-day contract. He's been playing, obviously, with the Raptors shorthanded. He had 14 minutes, 6 points, struggled from the field, but there's going to be some opportunities for these guys over the next 3 games as the Raptors close out the season, because I would imagine Raptors, they got a second night of a back-to-back coming up. They got the Brooklyn Nets Wednesday night. They're probably going to give some other guys the night off, just as they rewarded quickly with the night off. So the Raptors, they lose this game. They're not going to play spoiler with Indiana, but what this loss does do, it helps their case for the 6th worst record, as they're in a really good position with 3 games left of clinching the 6th worst record in the NBA, as they got a 2-game lead over the Grizzlies in the reverse standings. So Raptors, obviously, where they want to be in terms of that. But this has been an interesting season, guys. Obviously, we know the situation for this team. It is about next season. It is about the offseason. It is about the draft. And this is a team that, since the All-Star break, since Scotty Barnes went down, since the injuries kind of all unfolded, we knew the season was a wrap from a while ago now. I mean, this team was on a 15-game losing streak. But there was an interesting graphic, which I want to end on here, that was shown during the broadcast tonight. And the Raptors roster turnover, it's been crazy. It truly is a new era for this Raptors team. They've seen guys like Siakam, Anunoby, Schroeder, Chua, Flynn, Otto Porter Jr., and Thad Young all out and in. You got Emmanuel Quickley, RJ Barrett, obviously a part of this young core with Scotty Barnes, Olynyk, Abaji, Bruce Brown. Is he going to be on this team long term? Probably not. Wara, 2 first-round picks and a second-round pick. So there's a lot there for the Raptors. This has been a transitional year. This has been a turnover year, and this has been a bad year in terms of wins and losses. But if you kind of look at the bigger picture here, the Raptors have set the foundation of what they're trying to build here, a new identity, a new vision, a new version of this team. And you just got to trust in what Masai and Bobby Webster are cooking here. So the Raptors, 3 more games on the season. Let's see if they can show you a little bit of something with these guys who are trying to earn themselves an opportunity on this team. And obviously, it's about next season for this basketball team. So Raptors got 3 games left, guys. They got the Nets, do a post game after that one. And then they got Miami on the weekend, Friday and Sunday. Those are going to be big games for Miami, as Miami is still trying to get out of the play-in tournament. I think they can still get out. Last time I checked, we'll do a quick standings here before I get out of here. Miami, they're 2 games back of the Pacers, so it might be, or 1.5 games back of the Pacers at the time this recording. So it might be tough for Miami to get out, but they still have a chance. They still have an outside chance. So those games could be big for Miami. Anyways, guys, let me know your thoughts. Like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you are new. That is it for me. This is Lucas signing off. Thanks so much for watching. I will catch you all again in the next one.